Assalamu alaikum everyone. So I just came back from the office and my head is quite heavy with a lot of thoughts, and I just thought that it's time I convey all of these uh, only because I feel that I'm quite privileged. I'm privileged in the sense that I can get up and just put my mind and heart into anything I want and not really focusing on my own sustainability, and that is a huge privilege to have because majority of the people in the entire world wake up in the morning looking for their first meal. So if I have that privilege, I think it's important that I raise issues that are there. And for the past 1 year, as you all know, that I've been trying to run my own startup called Gully Things, and I'm very happy with it. I love to wake up and work for it. But this entire 1 year has been quite heavy for me compared to the 9-10 years of the career that I've had as a lobbyist or as an activist. And now I have to say that I think standing in United Nations and screaming and shouting and saying I demand change was much more easier than doing anything in Pakistan. And kudos to everybody who've been trying to do it. But I believe that being an entrepreneur is more like being a warrior. It's like being a soldier. You're literally on the battleground at all times. And what are you fighting? You're fighting this invisible enemy, this entire mafia that is out there who is just trying to create barriers for you, and we all have experienced these barriers in different ways, and we don't really talk about it. We don't really call out the people who are being corrupt, who are conning you, who are manipulating you, गलत price quote करेंगे. They're going to just not deliver what they've committed, not realizing that your business is being affected, and then just get on with the day because everybody knows the legal system is so weak. So what's the point? Get on with the day. But we are young entrepreneurs, we are newcomers, and when I say young, I mean that we are bringing in new ideas and extremely vulnerable, considering that technology is not something that we have paid a lot of heed to when we were growing up. We don't really take it as a field, especially women. I don't know why. How did that happen? I mean, how did the thought that technology is a man's world creep into my mind? But it did, and it takes me back to the time when I was picking my subjects, and I picked biology. Clearly, I picked biology, thinking that no, technology is not my thing. Computer science क्यों पढ़नी है? What's the point of studying computer science? Because I'm never gonna pursue a career in that. And now when I'm in my practical life, actually trying to pursue a career, and I'm thinking, how did I disable myself? I just took away my right of education, and believing that in my subconscious, believing that technology is not my thing. When I started my company, so I reached out to a company and I told them that, okay, you know better, you're very sincere with me, I share my vision with them, and I expect them to do my bidding. Now this one particular person that I was in touch with, and he was a man, so every time I would talk to this person, I would believe that he is going to walk into this world, which is a man's world, technology, and do my bidding, because I don't know the jargons, I don't know anything how it works. I only have an idea, and I'm very sure about the problem that I'm trying to solve, and I have the business idea of how to take it forward. In the long run, I realized that this person who I actually thought would come forward and protect me and make the best deal for me was actually ripping me off. And that's when in that moment, I realized that I have paid him the money and the work is not being delivered, and more or less somewhere this person won't even give me a receipt, won't even give me a breakdown, and this person is actually also going around telling the world that he's one of the investors and he has invested a substantial amount in my startup. Thank you if you've done that, like that's great, but can I just like see a record or something? Like कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है, like वाकई में कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है. This person goes, makes a statement and just on it, and there's no one to actually ask that, okay, any proof, anything? Thank you, I want to thank you, so give me the proof. And this is just tip of the iceberg, and this is just one story. I have heard so many stories of men and women who do not have a particular expertise. They seek business from a different company, and this company gives them business but actually rips them off completely. Now I'm making this video because I'm not here to rant. I actually have a solution, and that solution is that why aren't we having a platform that calls for accountability within the entrepreneurial ecosystem? Any investor that walks into your world, appreciates your idea, promises you a particular amount, and just walks out. leaving you hanging there, giving you a false direction, a vision. Isn't that corrupt? Isn't that wrong? Any person who you're reaching out to get business done with, because we all are here to get business done. We all are serious entrepreneurs. We could be young, we could be naive, but we're serious. Anyone that we reach out to give you business, they don't deliver on time. They have no worth of any contracts. In fact, there isn't ever a contract signed. I have hardly seen the seriousness of signing contracts. People are hesitant to sign contracts because somewhere they want to leave the door open for any opportunity. Okay, fine, that's great. But we live in a country where we are protecting our guts, we're protecting our palates. I mean, for God's sake, the food is being rated constantly. I mean, the world will come and tell you, hey, don't go to that restaurant, वहाँ के शाही टुकड़े मत खाना, भी बहुत बकवास है. And you would completely believe that. Like, we would be like, okay, fine, thank you very much. We have a platform that is very serious. We have multiple platforms like that. Why can't we have a lobby, a platform where we protect each other and we tell each other that this person is manipulative and this person needs to be brought down? The legal system does not step in every time. The legal system is lengthy. The legal system calls for a lot of money, and we as young entrepreneurs, we don't have that because we're trying to invest in our own companies, remember? So why go down that road? And now that I'm thinking, I'm like, even if I do, the courts aren't accessible. So where do I go? Like, what do I really do? I think we need to have a platform. We need to speak up about people who are even thinking about taking a different route when it comes to you, and we need to protect our entrepreneurs. There are incubators, there are co-working spaces sprouting out like mushrooms, but where are the support groups? Where are places where people like you and I, who are very serious about making a difference in this country, can actually go and say that, look, this is the company who's doing this to me. Can we all gang up against this system where a company just says or does anything and walks out? Can we at least do that for each other? I cannot go the legal route for all the reasons. Physical just being one, financial being one. And not that I don't have the money. It's just that the choice that you don't want to invest that money, whereas you could have invested that money in something more productive. So why go that road, whereas we could support each other? So I am angry. I am upset. I think more than I'm angry for myself, I'm angry at all those people who tried to con off women and men who were more vulnerable, whose only source of livelihood is their own business, and they had nowhere to run, because you and I, we are privileged in so many ways. And if our exposure, our knowledge, our entire system of ideology of making a difference does not come in handy to protect each other, I don't know what do we do. And every time we walk to a different conference out of the country and we sit there and we talk about Pakistan, then we're all hypocrites, really, if we're not really challenging the system here in Pakistan. So this is my idea, and I want to talk more about this. I would call for a support group of entrepreneurs. I want to scream and shout and take all the names of people who have tried to con me or rob me, and probably I've been feeding that, not even realizing that this is not how it's done. So I welcome you all to be part of this, and I really want this video to be a trigger of discussion, because we need to protect each other for the betterment of this country and the world. Thank you very much. I'll go get dinner now.